You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Smart Food. What makes Smart Food so smart? It's Air Pop Popcorn. Tossed in white cheddar cheese, only 70 calories per cup. A notorious black bag of popcorn deliciousness. You are what you eat. Welcome to the Smart Club. Shop now at snacks.com.
Hey there, and welcome to Fan Theory Queries, where we analyze fan theories from all over the internet, but mostly Reddit. I'm Laura.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Spencer. And reminder, we're doing scary things for the rest of the month. And there's nothing scarier than angel statues that cry. Michael, what else is scary about weeping angels? Because I have not seen them.
Quite a bit, actually. They're one of my favorite and, to me, one of the most terrifying villains in the Doctor Who franchise.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically, since you don't know, I'll explain. They're basically these statues that are angel statues, and they have their hands over their faces. And basically, as long as you're looking at them, they're still statues. But as soon as you look away, they can move. And they basically
all I can think of is Mario and the booze whenever you look at him.
Oh, yeah.
He can't attack you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
There may be a connection there.
There may be. Thank you for making that.
There may be some influence taken from that. But yeah, basically they sneak up on you, and whenever they reach you, they do some... Basically, we find out later on in the series that they throw you back in time, and it hurts you that way. But it's pretty terrifying.
That doesn't sound so bad.
What if they threw you back
I don't know,
You went
because,
back in time.
You can't even blink, or else they'll still be able to.
Every time you blink, they can move closer to you.
Yeah, all they need is a split second because they can manipulate time. But that actually kind of leads into our theory.
Okay.
So this theory is actually from another website, looper.com. And we don't have a specific author here, but the name of the theory is Weeping Angels Theory that would change everything about the series.
This is by Julie River, by the way.
Who?
Oh, it is. Okay.
Julie River.
Great.
Gotcha. Thank you for giving credit.
You're welcome, Julie.
All right. So Julie at looper.com says, introduced in the Stephen Moffat penned episode Blink during the David Tennant era of Doctor Who in 2007, the Weeping Angels are the mysterious statues that can only move when you're not looking at them and have naturally been the subject of much speculation by fans. Little is known about the origins of these strange creatures with the unique ability to throw people backward in time, but some fans think they seem to have an idea where the angels came from. Many fans have brought up the theory that the Weeping Angels may be fallen Time Lords, based on a line of dialogue in David Tennant's final episode, The End of Time Part 2. In one sequence, Rassilon says that the Time Lords who stood against him would be forced to cover their faces and stand as monuments to their shame like the Weeping Angels of old. This has led many to ask if Weeping Angels are Time Lords that have fallen out of favor or been punished for their transgressions. There's actually a surprising amount of evidence to back up the idea that Time Lords can become Weeping Angels, especially as a form of retribution. Reddit user Ninja Backwards brought a point to Reddit that there are clues as far back as the show's 20th anniversary special, The Five Doctors, in 1983. In that episode, Time Lord President Barossa shamelessly seeks a ring in the Tower of Rassilon that is said to grant the wearer immortality, only to find that he will live forever as a stone in Rassilon's tomb. The Houston Press also brings up the 2002 Big Finish audio story, Neverland. Apparently the Houston Press are really big Doctor Who fans.
They like Doctor Who. Houston.
Yeah, which, I mean...
Houston.
I can't blame them. They bring up a 2002 Big Finish audio story, Neverland, where it's revealed that the Time Lords sometimes punish their own people by erasing them from recorded time itself and banishing them to a realm known as the Antiverse.
Hmm.
These never people, as they're called, consume time, not unlike the Weeping Angels. In
Consume
Village
it.
of Angels,
Yeah.
yeah,
I could
it's
make some kind
pretty
of
crazy
joke
how it
about
happens.
boring work being time consuming, but
Yes,
It's time
yes, not off
consuming.
the top of my head.
work on it, and we'll swing back around. Maybe you can think of something by
we'll
the
come
end.
back around to you.
So in Village of Angels, in which the 13th Doctor is actually turned into a Weeping Angel, we learn that these lonely assassins have been used as agents for a secret Time Lord agency known as the Division. The connection between the Angels and the Division has fueled even more speculation that the Weeping Angels may be fallen Time Lords. One Reddit user suggested that the Angels' work for the Division could be some form of parole for the former Time Lords, a way to atone for their misdeeds.
Oh, like a penance, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the theory.
So I'm
And
curious.
I'm really excited. Yeah, go ahead.
Good. I'm glad you're excited because
I
that
love Doctor
means-
Who.
Yeah. So just to give everybody some background on my Doctor Who knowledge. I did start the relaunch in the early or the mid 2000s. I didn't start then, but I started with Christopher Eccleston. I loved him. It was my first introduction to him as an actor, and I loved that. Are You My Mommy episode, or is that David Tennant?
That creeps me
I don't
out. I'm pretty sure that was Eccleston,
Mhm.
if I remember correctly.
And like the creepy mall, what are those things? Are
Mall Santa?
mannequins?
Oh, the mannequins?
Oh.
Yeah.
coming to life.
That was the very first episode with
yeah.
Christopher Eccleston. Yeah.
And then Rose, whatever her name is, and then I
Rose
love
Tyler.
Yeah, I love David Tennant too. I'm just a huge fan of David Tennant as it
Mhm.
is. But,
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't.
Miller.
I didn't keep watching it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't keep watching it. So I'm familiar. I don't believe obviously, if it was introduced in 2007, I don't know. I don't recall watching an episode with creepy weeping angels. Do they actually weep?
No, it just looks like they're weeping by the way that they're
Okay.
postured with their
Okay.
hands over their face.
Gotcha.
That is creepy.
So
Yeah.
what I'm curious about is, is there anything that's making this like a difficult connection to make? Like all of these facts and these instances this person's laying out, it's like, okay, it's almost like they're stating to me that this is just the way that it is.
Is it just the fact that it's never explicitly said in the series? That's why this is a thing?
It's because it's never fully, like you said, explicitly stated that this is fact in the series. So it's left for speculation up to this point, which is why they came up with this theory.
Okay, so had you thought on your own that weeping angels could be former Time Lords?
Honestly, I didn't think that much into it. I just accepted the fact that the weeping angels existed and they were creepy as heck. So I didn't really think much about their history or origin.
Mhm.
But after hearing this, it kind of makes me want to dive a little further into it.
Yeah. My wife is sometimes a weeping angel because she cries like most people do. I cried
A
today
healthy amount.
Yeah, I cried today because I realized how fast my children were growing. So I'll be the first to admit that I cried. But
Yes.
she's also an angel, and so when she cries, she's a weeping angel.
So I'm a former Time Lord.
I mean,
Mm.
you
I mean,
don't
that
deny
makes
it.
a lot of sense. That there's a lot of things that are coming together now.
All right, sorry to get us off track.
I like that.
So, Laura, do you have any knowledge or experience with Doctor Who, or more specifically, the Weeping Angels?
Nope.
Other than being one,
I didn't think so, but I wanted to just know if you had any idea.
I
of
just
what was
have the
going on here.
peripheral knowledge from what is often referenced in pop culture, like
phone booth,
wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff, and
Daleks.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Daleks, and like
Daleks,
is it like
yeah.
a space screwdriver or whatever, or
Sonic
screwdriver.
sonic screwdriver?
Yeah.
And the blue police box. That's
Yeah. And
The
the
TARDIS.
distant
His
Yes.
TARDIS. I forgot that's what it's called. And then also the ever ongoing debate of who the best Doctor is.
And the fact that it's David Tennant.
Because David Tennant is the best at everything that he does.
Yes, that's
Scrooge
true.
McDuck.
Yeah.
I will say, for me personally, Matt Smith is a close second, which is kind of a side note for listeners. We were recently at the Dallas Fan Expo.
Yes, we were.
Matt Smith was a guest there, and I got to actually go to his panel, and it was pretty exciting because he seems like a really sweet human being, and he was really funny, and I enjoyed it. We got to hear about a bunch of kind of behind the scenes stuff about Doctor Who and other shows he's involved with. So
Yeah. And I specifically asked Michael to take pictures for me to share on social media, and I didn't. So thanks, Mike.
Yeah,
We'll get it out there.
I took a couple of pictures from where I was seated, but I was pretty far back.
You can tell it's him.
But yeah. So anyway, Laura, did you want to contribute anything, or am I good to kind of go into my business?
This sounds a whole lot like, just from all the evidence that we have here in the original theory, this sounds like a logical conclusion to come to, especially that there's never any explicit yay or nay in this series, but it's definitely, apparently to fans, a point of, like, contemplation, and they've got ample evidence for this. And so I'm interested to see, though, comments wise, if there's anybody to argue against it, because it sounds to me like it's overwhelmingly, we have all this evidence supporting this fact. And,
well, and it's, especially too, like, there's no alternative explanation for what a weeping angel is.
That's true.
well, I mean, could it just be a weeping angel, like that's its own entity?
Like a TARDIS. I mean, not a TARDIS.
I mean, it's
Dalek.
It's possible that it's kind of its own thing. It's just something that exists, like you said, like
own
thing. like a lot of the other villains in Doctor Who. But yeah, let's go ahead and actually look at the comments and see if there's anybody that has any contention towards this. So the first one's from Let Me Hit the ATM. They say, it sounds to me like they may be natural predators who evolved the ability to survive off of time energy as a way to become parasitic to the Time Lords. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Michael?
Possible. I mean, that is a big possibility, because just in their nature, they are very predatorial, and kind of the whole like stalking vibe. It's the way that they move in the shadow, not necessarily in the shadows, but when they move whenever you're not looking at them and stuff. It's very reminiscent to, like, say a tiger in the jungle stalking its prey in the like tall grass. Like they are very still until the prey is kind of looking away or distracted, and then that's when the tiger creeps forward and moves.
It's interesting you say that, because when I think about that, they're usually maybe an apex predator or up there close to that. That does not equate parasitic to me. A parasitic relationship. Parasitic means it's feeding off of somebody else's, what they are eating, feeding off of that person. Instead, this is actually hunting down, seeking out that thing. So
I think they were trying to make a connection with the fact that weeping angels consume time, and come at it like that, and that's why they said parasitic.
Yes,
but I agree with you. I don't think that that's a direct connection there. I think they were trying to do something, but they couldn't quite make it match up.
I agree. So like that's why I don't see them as a predator. If you're going to call them parasitic, I don't see those things as being equal. And this is, again, me talking off of no knowledge of these actual entities. It sounds to me, as an outsider, that I'm trying to say this correctly without like making any fans get upset with me. But that
Think about it when you go to the next comment.
it
Or
doesn't
you can
doesn't
just say
equate
it.
to me. That just doesn't
Yeah.
equate to me, other than they had to have had a connection to time in the beginning. It's not like they would evolve to time. Like, would you evolve to a to have your life be just reliant on something that apparently was hard to get to? Would you say that because of Time Lords and whatever it is they do, that time would be like a very hard source of energy to come by? Scarce?
So I don't think that I don't think when they say time energy that they're necessarily meaning like a Time Lord gives off time energy. I think it's more of just them feeding off of the energy of time. It doesn't necessarily have to be connected to a Time Lord. It's just that it's more prevalent within Time Lords because of their just nature.
So it's kind of like a buffet.
The connection they're trying to make. Yeah. It's like they can always survive off of just regular time and they're good. But whenever they're actually active and hunting and there's a Time Lord present, it's like, oh, I just got the trying to think of an equivalent. Like, yeah, I just got the filet mignon with the lobster and all the extra fixings and everything on the side, instead of just like the kids meal. That's kind of the way that I see it, having previous knowledge on these characters.
That gives me more context. Thank you.
Does that make a little more sense?
Kind of, yeah. I still am not
totally
behind. Let me hit the ATM's comment here, but okay.
So the next comment is from Kamipko. Yes. They say, I took the same inference from the end of time that maybe conversion to Weeping Angel was a punishment for Time Lords that got out of hand. Note also that the Weeping Angel's attack involves teleporting people through time, and in The Angels Take Manhattan, it is revealed that the angels feed on time energy. Both of these seem like good fits for their relation to the Time Lords, which just kind of backs up what what OP was saying in the original theory. And then this next comment kind of answers a question you had earlier, Spencer, from Drew Mana. They say, when I saw the end of time, I literally just thought this was canon. So there are people out there that didn't think that this needed to be explained. They just assumed that this was actually the truth.
I thought that was the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then next comment's from Augustine X Boethius, saying, adding to your theory, in The Girl in the Fireplace, Renee Poisson called the Doctor her lonely angel. So in response to that, Ninja Backwards says, your addition is made stronger with Moffat writing that episode. I know that most everything is made up on a story-by-story basis, but I want to believe that Moffat has something like this planned out. So,
but David
wait a
Tennant
second.
is also
So they
just
don't
an
have
angel.
any kind of continuity?
There is. Here's the thing about Doctor Who. There's a through line, but the through line is the relationship that the Doctor has with each of his or her companions. There's a story about them together, but each episode is in its nature very episodic and almost separated. It's not like it's a consecutive, like boom, 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 boom all the time. A lot of times, basically, if you look at each season of Doctor Who and take all the episodes, you could almost mix a lot of those episodes around in any order, and it would still make sense for the season. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
I guess
they do it in a way to where there doesn't necessarily have to be a through line for it to make
it's a villain of
sense
the week
on the overarching thing. Yes, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what they're getting at. But I'll read this last comment and then we can kind of start wrapping up. So this one's from Deleted User. They say, maybe after 12 regenerations, the chances of regeneration are The chances of regenerating into a weeping angel rise exponentially, which is why they devised a way to limit the regenerations. Then the knowledge is slowly lost and forgotten because the Time Lords stop regenerating more than 12 times, so it stops happening. But now that the Doctor has been given regeneration energy, each regeneration after causes him to become more and more unhinged, which first brings about the Valyard and puts him in danger of forever being a weeping angel upon any given regeneration. I don't know if I agree with that.
Me either.
Personally. Yeah, I don't know. It's a fair point, but I don't think it's a valid point. Spencer, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, I did not. I think I'm probably ready to move along.
Michael, why do you have your hands on your face like that? Hey, Spencer.
This little pup dog is a fancy fidget toy.
Spencer, stop playing with that action figure and look at Michael. He's being weird and it's creeping me out.
Huh. Oh no. Laura, keep your eyes on him, and whatever you do, don't blink. Well, gotta go. Laters.
Wait, you're leaving me? Fine, I'll just take care of this myself. Where did I put my sonic screwdriver? On sea! Do you plop down on the couch at the end of your day, turn on your TV, and then search 5 different streaming services for something new to watch for 20 minutes?
Actually, yes.
That sounds just like me.
Then Watch This Tonight is the resource you need. 3 times a week, former film critic, film producer, and current podcast producer Dan Benamor curates the best picks in streaming on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Paramount Plus, Apple, and more. Each episode is only about 10 minutes, so you can get a quick recommendation and always find something great to watch. Look for Watch This Tonight from Voyage Media, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
And we're back. I see you survived, Laura.
Yeah, no thanks to you. What was so urgent anyway?
Oh, I had an appointment to get fitted for a fez, and it looks like Michael's back to his normal self. How'd you fix him?
It was quite simple, actually. I just had to reverse the polarity of the neutron flow, then flow, and a bit of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff, and now he's good as new! Except he refuses to take off that ridiculous bow tie.
Hey, bow ties are cool.
You know what else is cool? Our rating scale.
The highest rating that we have is Genius. This is reserved for only the best theories, which we believe are better than the actual canon. The next step down is plausible. It's a good theory, it's believable. Unlikely is next. It's not a terrible theory, but pretty unlikely, as the name suggests. And then the last thing is preposterous. These are the theories that are just stupid. Basically, we're all dumber for having listened to them. I know I'm probably the biggest Doctor Who fan of the three of us. Do you want me to go first or last?
Last. Because you need to take into account the things that I said that might sway your opinion. I know I have that kind of influence on you.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
sure.
I'll go ahead and give
Would you
my
like to go first?
rating.
Yeah, please.
This sounds genius. It sounds like it's been very cut and dried and easy for fans to connect the dots here. It sounds like it wasn't even like there were some obscure things in the comments, but as far as the actual theory as a whole, it seemed like it was very easy, readily available evidence. You didn't have to go dig and hunt for it. That when that happens, it's then it's obvious that those things are connected. And I think that's genius.
Okay, I'm ready to rate this. I agree with Laura for the most part about what I think that this could be the canon. However, I think because it is so obvious to the point that one guy just assumed that that's how it was, I'm not going to give it a genius, but I will say that it is plausible.
That is too obvious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
so plausible.
Awesome. So, yeah, I genuinely never thought about this before, but now that they brought it up, I can't stop thinking about it. And for me, this is my new canon. Like, it's genius. I agree with you, Laura. everything is laid out perfectly well, and there's not really much to contradict. The comments try in a couple places, but honestly, their points aren't strong enough to.
They're just suppositions. They're not.
Yeah,
they're not alternate.
Yeah. So I love this theory. I think it's fantastic, and yeah, genius.
Good find, Michael. Even though I don't know much about the show, I still had fun talking about it.
Yeah.
Which means that it has been another episode of Fan Theory Queries, because that's what we do here, is we enjoy talking about things. But it is time to bring that discussion to a close. But before we do, I just wanted to share this detail I found on Reddit and see if it blows your minds as much as it did mine.
Okay.
You know, time is a funny thing. We're talking about time and all that. But here's an example. A person who has since deleted their Reddit account pointed out that the movie Interstellar was actually released in November 6, 2014, exactly 1 hour ago. Get it? Because, like, they're on a planet for, like, an hour, and it's past 70 years on the real world.
No, I get it. I am just thinking more seriously about it now, because I love Interstellar, and I mean, it
was released an hour ago.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter when you listen
Good job,
to this
deleted
episode.
Reddit user.
Yeah. Like, people who listen to this episode in 3 years, it'll still be, Interstellar will still have released an hour ago.
And more power to this
they're
deleted
listening,
Reddit user, because they took the power into their hands and they deleted it themselves. It's not like they got deleted.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. And if you're listening to this in 3 years, then we're actually still recording it. So
Oh, good point.
I like that.
Yes.
Well, on that note, this has been Fan Theory Queries. I'm Laura.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Spencer. In our next episode, we ask, in John Carpenter's The Thing, is the biggest hero of the movie actually the biggest villain? Subscribe to Fan Theory Queries so you don't miss out on that and other fascinating fan theories.
I can't see Michael. Michael, are you there?
Michael, are you there? Michael, wake up.
Fan Theory Queries is part of the Airwave Media Podcast Network. Visit airwavemedia.com to listen and subscribe to their other fine shows like The Projection Booth, Movie Therapy, and My History Can Beat Up Your Politics.